The views expressed are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of the Team Sock Passe podcasts or their respective affiliates or sponsors. This episode is sponsored by LS Cream, the perfect blend of spices and tradition inspired by Haitian cremas. Please drink responsibly.
Sock Passe.
What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of the Team Sock Passe podcast. My name is Glad.
And I'm your boy, Rob. We are your favorite Team Sock Passe podcast show where we interview great entrepreneurs from all sectors of industry. Remember, subscribe, share, comment below. Subscribe, share, comment below. Glad. Tell them who we got today.
This episode is going to be legendary. That's all I got to say. Legendary. We're going to be talking about the liquid gold of the Caribbean. All right? We're going to be talking about the liquid gold of the Caribbean and what that means. This is a historical interview. It's going to go viral. Trust me. Our brother, Mr. Stéphane Jean-Baptiste. What's up, my brother?
What it do?
What's going on?
It's been far too long.
Yes.
Too long, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been in these streets for more than a decade.
Oh, man. For sure, man. We really appreciate you doing this, especially around your travel schedule.
Nah, all good.
This is definitely going to be a historical interview. You see, we got that Kreyol Essence box. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. But before we even move forward, this is the first time, Rob.
First bio on the show.
This is the first time that I've ever printed out a bio,
Yeah.
and I'm going to read this.
I was
right?
like, I saw the
serious
paper.
I am.
I saw the paper on the
This is
chair.
the first time I've done this.
I saw the paper on the chair when I walked in. I was like, okay,
I
Glad.
printed out the bio of this man. This is how historical this interview is, and how
Stéphane.
serious we are about this interview.
Stéphane, you guys are definitely on point with that.
So check this out, y'all. Stéphane holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications from Temple University.
To you.
He is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Inc.
Yo.
and a 2010 Pennsylvania State Fellow of the Center for Progressive Leadership. Stéphane has used his business and creative talents to help plan and coordinate the logistics of complex projects and deploy integrated marketing and communications campaign for over 200 domestic and international clients. An impassioned social entrepreneur, Stéphane is currently the co-founder and chief operating officer of Kreyol Essence. Kreyol Essence delivers 100% natural and ethical beauty products from Haiti to the beautiful island of Haiti to the world by leveraging the country's unique agricultural ingredients such as black castor oil, moringa, which I believe is a superfood, and Haitian vetiver, which is an herb, I believe, right? Vetiver. My bad. The social,
We gotta talk about that.
The social business connects its sales to economic development and improving the environment in Haiti, and has launched nationwide with select retailers such as Ulta Beauty, QVC, Whole Foods Market, and Urban Outfitters. Kreyol Essence was recently featured on ABC's Shark Tank and was named 2020 Best Beauty Brand by the prestigious Beauty Independent. Refinery 29 has called Kreyol Essence one of the most exciting and cool indie beauty brands. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, co-founder of Kreyol Essence, our brother, Mr. Stéphane Jean-Baptiste. Let's get it. Let's go.
Sock
Team
Passe.
Sock Passe podcast.
Whoa.
Wow.
We in these streets.
Right. Yes, you are in Brooklyn.
That's true. But it's not even carnival yet.
I'm going to start off by saying that you may not say you did it, but I'm going to tell you from what we've seen, especially coming from the culture and from our graduating class. My brother, congratulations, you did it.
Thank you.
This is a platform that talks about entrepreneurship, especially from our culture. Like, we want to talk about our point of view, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we want to hear about the struggle and how you got here. I know it wasn't easy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Oh yeah, easy peasy. Just,
For sure.
10 years,
for sure.
Sourcing out of Haiti, political instability. But
Right,
hey, it's a beautiful journey. Shun not the struggle, because it's God's gift. You know what I'm saying? So you got to like step back and reflect and be like, okay, hey, I'm only here because of those situations, of that journey. I'm learning, and so okay, hey, I can smile now, right? And be like, okay, hey, because I went through that, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to do what's next. You know, keep going
Right.
harder, keep going stronger. So, yeah, but it's been fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
In your bio, it talked about you doing campaigns for over 200 domestic international clients. This is before?
This is before Kreyol Essence.
Can you talk about
that? Yeah. So a lot of people don't know, but I'm actually a creative. Like that's that's my, I started off as a graphic designer. Actually, even going way back, undergrad, I was a theater major. So you see it, it's all work. It's all work on side. But there's what, as they say, right? And look, and I even want to change that language of like, calling kids desord, parce que, it's their spirit. It's in them, is what God put in them to sort of express themselves, right? So I feel I was like one of those kids, and so theater allowed me to sort of channel that spirit, and just really I found something that just gravitated and grabbed me and put a hold of like, and I think being a Gemini, double Gemini, you can essentially just morph, you can tap into the different aspects of who you are as a being, and so that's what theater was for me. It was a wonderful escape, and then growing up the way that we grow up, right? Parents working all the time, and you have the options. You either go hang out with the real vagabonds in the street, or you tap into something else. And so theater was that opportunity, because I know I didn't want to go that path. And I wasn't an athlete. I mean, I love sports. I play sports, but that passion wasn't in me. And so the arts.
Which sport?
I played soccer. I played some basketball. Yeah. So I mean, I can score something in some fields.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Good. You can pass me the ball and I'll do something. I'll do something with it.
Okay,
but
cool.
I might not go out for MVP. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So the bench warmer.
Yeah.
Right. Emergency. Kobe's out. Like, yo, we're good. We're 20 points up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put me in, coach. Put me in.
No, that's good. That's good to know. That's good to know.
But the arts was that, and so theater rolled into communications at Temple, and then advertising, graphic design. I fell into graphic design, and so one of my first jobs was originally University of Pennsylvania, and then I went to go work for a Korean-based company. They were brokering 3D technology. You remember those Crack-Jack box and the cards that like shifted? So we were doing technology similar to that out of Korea. So they sent me out there, learn how to like design and understand the technology. So we came back. We were doing work for McDonald's, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, L'Oreal. So that was like my first foray into corporations and just really understand how they tick. And I'm a curious person, right? So I'm getting these projects, and rather than just looking at the brief and saying, hey, go and do this, like I'm studying like, oh, how did this get created? And that gave me that opportunity and the confidence to start my own design agency, which is Nouveau Concepts. So I think that was right around the time that I started linking up with you guys, and like on the hustle tip, one of the first, I guess, more notable projects that we did out of the Boston area was the Compa Cruise. And for me, design was my entryway of giving back to Haiti. Right? So it was always in me, that spirit. And I think all of us, we just have this mission of giving, of doing what we feel best to change the narrative of the country. And so that was the gift that God gave me. It was design originally. And I wanted to, quote unquote, elevate the Haitian experience in America. I was seeing the Bal flyers, back in the day it was the Zen flyers, I was like, I think we can do something different.
I think we do a little bit better than that.
I think we can do a little bit better. Look, God gave me this talent. And that's actually how I linked up with Yve-Car. Yve-Car was the director of the National Haitian Student Alliance. And so a friend of mine brought me on board. The Pennsylvania conference was happening at the time. Yve-Car brought me on board to handle graphic design and marketing and public relations. And she was like, yo, I know word art and I know PowerPoint. So like, what's this kid talking about? So I was like, all right, hey, give me your brochure. Flipped it. She's like, whoa, I've never seen anything like this before. Like, you got the job. So I was always just intentional of really seeing the beauty the unique aesthetics of our Haitian culture. And I feel the gift that God gave me is being able to pull that out and share it with the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting story, man. Interesting.
And born in Haiti.
Born in Haiti.
Okay.
I came to the States at 7. Came to Brooklyn. Yeah, everybody, you stop. I mean, inside of Florida.
You started in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You know,
good.
so PSU 21 was the first school. You know, Flatbush and where were we? President Street. Then Flatbush and Bedford, and then ultimately went to Boston. So my father was like, "Look, I see what's going on in these streets.
Flatbush is too much.
Flatbush was a little too much.
Yeah, Flatbush was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
And, you know, we're talking 92, 93,
Yeah.
you know, but I loved it. I was soaking everything up. Bro, like, it was dance hall, it was hip-hop, you know. So I'm in the middle of all this, just soaking the culture up, you know. So I think, you know, we were having a conversation off air of just the Haitian-American mindset that we I think it's one of the most beautiful things, you know, to be in the position and grow up the way that we grew up, you know, the foundation and the cultural and the heritage of the Haitian community, but the creativity, the artistic nature that we were just growing up in like the hip hop puffy bad boy era.
Oh,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, wow, you did that? Boom, I can do that too.
Right.
You know, and so that was dope to really grow up in that environment. But Boston ultimately became the formative years, you know. So that in and of itself was a different experience because I was speaking to someone yesterday or this morning actually, and she pointed out of like, oh yeah, you know, I don't align well with old New England money. I was like, let me think about that real quick. And for me, I had to think about that because growing up in a place like Boston, you're exposed to that all the time. Like, you know, you have Harvard, MIT, you have all this, even the kids that you're going to school with, they might be in the same socioeconomic class as you, but, you know, they're vacationing in Hyannisport. They're going to Martha's Vineyard. They're understanding what leisure is at an early age, something that we know nothing about, right? Like during that period.
We're going to Brooklyn for the summer.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get it.
much.
I definitely get it. Yeah.
You know, and you're staying on the stoop.
Right.
You know, and or you don't go past the bodega in the corner.
Right.
I remember I didn't know Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty until I got into my 30s. You know, because you're in Brooklyn the whole time, and I'm like, oh yeah. I remember 4th grade, 5th grade. You're going, what did you do for the summer? Yeah, I was in Brooklyn, and and the carnival happened, and then I came back.
That was pretty much it.
That was it. You summed it up.
Life in Brooklyn.
Life in Brooklyn.
Summer in
You know?
Brooklyn.
Yeah. But you know, again, you know, you look back and it's like, yeah, these are the breadcrumbs. These are the little whispers that make you the person that you are. So, you know.
So what kind of mindset, like, you going to, you know, you're going through all the carnivals and you're going through, you know, you want to get back to the Haitian culture.
Yeah.
But what was going through your mind? Did you know exactly what you wanted to do at that time?
Hell no, never.
Okay.
Do I even still know what I want to do now? I'm still growing up, guys.
I love it, man. I love it.
No. Yeah. You know, and I think I also went through it, like many of us, you go through that period where you shun your culture, right? And again, it wasn't until 96, what happened in 96? The score drops. And you're like, oh, I'm Haitian.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool, you know? And so, you know, shout out to Wyclef, the Fugees, and that just really just gave us that confidence to be like, yo, there's something about my culture that I don't know that I want to go find out again. You know, when you're listening to like the B-side and, you know, you're hearing like Lauryn Hill speaking Kreyol and stuff. And I was like, oh shit, like that's dope. That's dope. And so like that, I think that was a pivotal moment that just really said, let me appreciate me. Let me appreciate my culture. Let me listen. Let me appreciate that compa that my father's playing. That I really wanted to listen to Nas and Biggie, but let me listen to it a little bit and start going to that rediscovery journey. And so from there, I think also it was a pivotal moment where I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. So I'm getting this clash of culture, you know, that's happening. And at home, you know, oh, no, I said this, no, I said that.
Right.
But then I'm reading and I'm like, no. There's something about this narrative that I don't believe. And I have to discover it myself, right? I got to go and figure out like, okay, I'm in Brooklyn, but there were blacks before me. It's not just Haitians. it's not just Jamaicans. There are African Americans who lived in these communities, you know? So what's that dichotomy? What's their history? So I just got like really curious. And for me, going to undergrad, it was either I wanted to go to an HBCU. Well, actually, let me roll back. When I decided that I wanted to go to college, I didn't take it seriously. Like, it was like, I know, I was one of those kids.
So good. I was one of them too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And again, c'est pas désordre. It was just like, there's just, the mind is just spinning.
Yeah, you're just a true creative at heart.
Yeah.
Trying
Your
to
mind
figure
is
it out.
spinning, and you're trying to figure out what's my lane. You know, where do I go? Who am I? And I think there's a suppressive nature in our culture that doesn't allow us to blossom in those formative years.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's until we get older and, you know, after God knows whatever we do, and we get there, and then it's like, okay, I am who I am. I accept who I am, and this is me. You know, so yeah, during those years were challenging. They were challenging, but finally when I made that decision, and you know, I listened to the whispers of the universe, I listened to God, and it was like, okay, hey, I either want to go to an HBCU or I want to be in a black city, an African American city. And Temple University won out because Howard took forever with my financial aid packet. I got in, but yeah, I needed that cash to go. But yeah, that's what set me in that path of just sort of identifying what does that creative journey look like.
Gotcha.
So you graduate college, you got this job. You said you're in Korea, right?
Right. So it was like my second job after undergrad. Yeah.
Okay. And then, but you had already know Eve before.
Yeah. Yep. So because we're working in the National Haitian Student Conference together, so that was a period where we worked together. Then I went off, did my own thing, and then we ultimately link up again.
Okay. Now tell us about that, and then how that ends up being
Kreyol Essence.
Kreyol Essence.
So, you know, I would probably say because she's used and she knows my quality work and what I did. So originally I end up, actually, no, when I went to Korea, we were working at Penn together. So I was in the grad school of education, and she was in alumni affairs. So at the time that we're working on National Haitian Student Conference and Alliance, like we're using our respective offices, you know, to make this come alive. If you're not familiar with it, so once a year, similar to a lot of I think there's like fragments of these organizations that exist, but this was the first of its kind where 1,500 to 2,000 Haitian American students would get together at college campuses annually to talk business, to talk politics, to talk how are we going to change this narrative. And because I was in this period and I was so African American centric coming out of Temple, you know, like I'm eating grits for the first time. Hey.
Crazy. Oh my gosh.
You know,
This is our whole childhood.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
pretty
Go
much.
ahead.
you know, and it's like, yo, this is dope. I'm so immersed, but I shunned away. Even during that period, I wasn't really involved in the Haitian community. And
Not even going to bottles.
Not even, no, bottles. That was like corny stuff, Beck longs, and you know, like I was,
Bet long. Oh my god. You taking it.
long.
You taking it back.
So, you know,
Wow.
Nah, man, I want to do Baltimore club, Jersey club, you know, do the Wu-Tang and,
All of that.
you know, pasas, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was the vibe
Yeah,
that I was
right,
on.
right.
And, you know, so going to this for the first time, I was like, yo. And you know, as Haitian Americans, when you realize, like, we're not a monolith, right? That was it for me.
Yeah,
It was like, yo, like, you're a Haitian nerd. You're a Haitian creative. Like, you're a Haitian athlete. And it was just amazing to see the beauty of our people. And, like, I was hooked from there. I was just like, okay, let's do this. Like, let's go on this journey and figure out whatever God gave me, I'm going to do it to essentially do something with it and help Haiti. So we did that. I leave Penn. I get the job that's based in Korea. So go away for that and then come back. So I come back. And of course, we kept in touch, what have you. But we link up at a Whitney M. Young conference that was happening at Penn. She's pursuing her master's at this point as well. We're rekindled, you know, sparks start to fly.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
Okay.
I'm happy you said that. Okay.
Okay.
Sparks.
Yeah,
fly.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's get to it.
Let's get it cracking.
Y'all want the tea?
You giving us a
Hold
tea.
on.
That's that cremas. Shout out LS.
Shout out LS. There we
All
go.
day, let's go.
Ooh. No, but and I think for me it was again that connection of just, I mean, the beauty was there, but the connection, the purpose, right? Often, when you look past attraction and the purpose is there, the vision is there, the unity of like, look, we're marching in that same direction together.
That is strong.
Yeah. And we're attracted to each other. Like, that's gold. That's magic, right? And so lightning struck, and that event, she straightened her hair up. And, for my beautiful Haitian women out there with that 3 to 4C hair texture, yeah, I'm talking to you.
He knows it.
You knows it.
And we're talking, this is, and again, I'm dating myself, but the ideation of Kreyol Essence goes back to like 08, 09, right? Wow. When this happens. And so her hair starts falling out. And, and like, we're like, dating at the time. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you want me to say? Like,
Right.
And, she's going through finding, she calls her mom. She's like, hey, I want to regrow my hair. This is what happened. And I give the years because of the context. Now we can say, hey, there's natural ingredients. There's this. There's salons that specializes in this.
Right.
Cosmologist, right? I should know this term. I'm in the industry. Cosmetologist. Yeah, cosmetologist. See, I see him. Yeah, I told you. Right? English is my second language. Cosmo something.
Yeah,
Good enough.
Something like that. Something like this, like that.
Like that.
Right.
So, they were not practicing what we now know and what, we've been able to do in the industry, of understanding how to essentially work with that hair texture, what we now call the kinky, coily, textured hair. They were just throwing a shitload of heat at it to straighten it, to get it bone straight. Like, wow. That was the MO, right? And, my studio audience will tell you, right? It's the Dominican style, right? The Dominican style, you go in, they fry the shit out of your hair, but literally. It's laid. Yeah. It's laid. You're looking good. You're feeling like Janet Jackson walking out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But there's damage to the hair that's happening, in that process, and that's something that along the lines we learned to discover that. You're damaging the hair with applying that much heat without protecting, without a unimasculinity that's actually going to create a barrier for the hair and the heat that you're experiencing. So we now know that. But before we were reckless. Sorry. Yeah. But that happened to her. Her hair's falling out. So now we're going in this process of discovering unimasculinity again, and we know it in the culture, right? We like, okay, boom, I hit you and you're bruised. What do you use?
Masculinity.
Exactly.
Right. Everything.
We use it for everything.
Yeah.
And so what clicked for me was, if this is something that we revere so much in the community, why aren't we selling it or putting it in a commercial setting? Because what we came to find was it's in a rum bamaku bottle, it's in a Gerber baby bottle, it's in a water bottle. Right. So the quality of presenting this national treasure was not there, in my view. And I guess I've always been a weirdo in that sense of like, I'm seeing things differently. And so it clicked, like all the communication, design training, and all that is just coming back to me. That's why I say shun not the struggle, because you never know when you're going to use that again. And so I saw an opportunity to change that narrative of Haiti from the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere to sharing with the world love, beauty, culture, heritage. That's what I saw in that, what we call white space in the beauty industry, a product that doesn't exist or a product that's needed to essentially offer to the tribe and the community. And then Yve-Car, being in the nonprofit space, she saw an opportunity for job creation. As we started digging a little bit deeper and seeing that it's women that's historically producing this in Haiti, it's farmers, because her background is that she worked in New Jersey Citizen Action, very, very, shoot, if you think I'm good, man, like, all hail the queen of just what she's been able to do in the Haitian community, from Brooklyn to Jersey, you name it. And so she saw that even in fundraising, you can raise $100,000. That money's gone in a year. You know, it's that saying of like, you know, teach a man to fish, you know, right. Or lead him to water or whatever. But it's that expression of like what was happening in Haiti is that every year earthquake happened, boom, flooding happens, boom, let's raise money. Systematic solutions were not being created. We were just reacting. We're reacting. And then again, it's that mindset of like, oh, my voye doomsa, you know, when your sneakers disappear.
Yeah. You don't know where it went. It's already in Haiti.
It's in Haiti. It's in Haiti. Yeah, pretty much. It's on American Airlines.
It's already gone.
Man, they took my Nintendo.
They took my Sega.
But, you know, these are not systematic. These are not long-term solutions. These are what our parents and our community felt best that they can do. And so for us, we saw the business case of like, if we can get these farmers back to the farms. The castor season, we can go a little deeper into that.
Yes.
It's a cash crop. So it only takes 3 months for it to actually yield. You're going to get the castor pods, the seeds we extract out of it. The castor tree itself actually treats the soil. So if you are a farmer and you have that small plot of land, and, you know, we all got that family member, like, yeah, my uncle got a hectare somewhere, right? You know, so if that's that uncle and he is planting and seeds are actually like, you know, récolté, he can then plant plantains on that. He can plant other stuff on that because, you know, it's not as much of an invasive crop. And again, like I said, it's actually adding more nourishment to the soil. So we saw it as an opportunity of getting farmers back onto the, and then women, look, especially in our community, you know, they are the backbone, the potominta, as we often say, right? But then, unfortunately, you know, they are the ones that subjugated to a lot of the emotional, sexual, psychological abuse in our community. And so we saw it as an opportunity to create work for them, to empower them. You know, there was a period we were working with an organization called Fun Cause, where we worked with what they called and dubbed as the unbanked. The women that, parce que c'est mari, it's their husband that opens bank account for them. They're not going to school, the college education is not there, and they're just working the land. So we showed them by becoming agricultural workers and working and creating this pipeline for poverty alleviation that you can have your own bank account. And Funkos, they ultimately did that. So they went through a program, a CLM program. They worked with us for a little bit, and then Funkos, they helped them to get bank accounts and essentially start, you know, living their lives as independent women. So that was the origin, the impetus for Kreyol Essence, and I was sold. I was like, let's go. I started designing the logo like right there, and because of my background in graphic design and my first company, Nouveau Concepts, I had the contacts, I had the label maker, I had, you know, all the people that I needed to essentially do what's called the proof of concept. Right, and so we're gonna talk business terms. All right, we're gonna teach you how to become entrepreneurs.
100%. What was the time frame where she's losing her hair to the point you say this can be, or you know, that Haitian Castor Oil was the solution, and then making it, into like a reality?
We're talking 12 years plus, but it was instant. We're talking maybe it was like, again, like God's gift of just that aha, right? So because let's say less than a year period. She speaks to her mom. Then we start researching. And I think, I'm going to give credit also to the climate that we were in. 2008, 2009, Lisa Price and Carol's Daughters killing it right here in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So inspiration is flooding us, you know. You have Miss Jessie, so that, you know, again, tapping into my experience working, living and adopting sort of like the African-American experience. So these are people that I'm looking towards, I'm being inspired by. And so that sort of gave us the inspiration of like, we have something in our culture, in our community that we can essentially share with the world in the same way that Lisa Price just did, the same way that the Branch Sisters did with Miss Jessie's. So we're like, we can do this for Haiti. And because of just the background of having worked in nonprofits and seeing those solutions were not working, we saw that the business was a good way to set the foundation for that. Nice. So yeah, within a year, we were like, let's go. We have something here. And then what we used to do is just walk around with a small bottle. It was like a 1 ounce bottle. We filled it up. I threw a label together, and we would just walk proof of concept or knowing your customer, seeing if this is a viable and what's called actually in the startup space, customer discovery, right? So I'm like, hey, Rob, I got this business idea, it's going to be Haitian Black Castor Oil. Would you buy it? At what price point would you buy this? Hey, like I have 1 cent. Should I create multiple cents, right? Just and store after store, people after people, conference after conference. Just that idea, we just use it as an opportunity to get it out there to see if it can be validated.
What were some of the challenges? Like, because
working full-time jobs.
Working full-time jobs. Because I know with growing up with like the whole the Louis Masquerade on the side. Like I grew up, my grandmother had a bottle on the side of her bed. Yep. And I remember, quick story. I was in Brooklyn. I was playing football with my brother, and I literally ran into I tripped, ran into the door, broke my left arm.
Oh wow.
My mom ran to that bottle. She warmed it up, and she put like my moulin and I mean burning
the spirit.
And she wrapped it up, and my arm was like this. I was like, I'm looking at my mom like, what is this? And she's just pouring the oil. So we go to the emergency room, and the doctor's like, what is that?
Right.
Like, what the hell did you just put on your son's arm? And moving forward to seeing this, I'm like, wow. Like, what were some of the challenges as far as like, going through, something like that as like we said,
get
in
to
a bottle.
Oh, for
and,
for sure.
Just convincing people because everyone is kind of like, how are you going to sell that?
Yeah. No, and shout out to mom. and there's science behind that, right? So that's as we started getting deeper and deeper into it. Castor oil, the Haitian Black Castor Oil is actually one of the few oils in the world that deeply penetrates all the layers of the tissue and the skin. So it has anti-inflammatory properties. So yes, your arm was broken, but because of the deep penetration, it's combating the inflammation that's happening and the swelling. I remember I tore my rotator cuff and I healed naturally, but I would do castor packs. So, which is pretty much what your mom did. Applying some heat on it. The heat helps penetrate into it, and then it calms down the inflammation. So by the time you get to the hospital, then the doctor can do his thing, right? Okay. So that's the science behind that. So shout out to all the moms and grandmas who,
So she's not crazy.
Yeah. No. Challenges. I mean, look, entrepreneurship is just challenging, period. You guys know. And then, you throw in a relationship on top of it as well, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get back into that.
Damn.
We're gonna get back into that.
But I think from inception, I like to say, so when we came up with the idea, we actually hired a consultant to us to say, hey, you know what?
That's good.
Go down to Haiti because I'm not going to Kreyol at this point, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not going to Haiti. And and again, like I'm Haitian American-ish, right? So all the fears of life is in my head of like going down to Haiti. I have a very interesting story about that. I'll share. But so we hire a consultant. The consultant's going down and he's like, yo, I can't find this.
Haitian consultant?
Haitian consultant. Okay. So, we met him through the Haitian conference round circle, stuff. And this is around the time that you guys are coming out with the t-shirts and, the Sac Passe movement. Like, it was a hot time in New York.
Yeah,
Nades Floriman was doing her thing.
Shout out to Nades.
Fabrice, actually, this came from Fabrice, so shout out to him. Fabrice Samand and Haiti Chérie, right? Like, it was a dope time to be Haitian. I think it was like that Renaissance period. And so we're like, all right, boom, like, we're going to do this. It's hot right now. So we get a consultant. The consultant's like, yo, and we ordered 4 drums. We said, get us 4 drums. We're going to start off with that.
4 drums.
4 drums of the castor oil.
And how many is that?
As far as bottle
Yeah.
wise, about like 1 drum I can probably do about like 3. Well, now at about like the 2 ounce size, somewhere about like the 3,000.
Oh wow.
Size. But at the time we had like 8 ounces. We were still figuring things out. Right?
Okay.
So we had 8 ounces, and if you're an OG Kreyol Essence customer, you'll remember this. It was an 8 ounce, a 4 ounce, and then in a plastic bottle. And then we ultimately started changing some things up around that. But 4 drums just to get started, opening order. It takes a year.
Wow.
Patience. Wow.
it takes a year.
And you're investing with your own money.
We're investing our own money. Yve-Car pulls her from her 401k. You guys had Herman on here. I'm sure he probably talked about those processes. There's a way to do it. I'm not even going to go in there. I'm not a fiduciary. So we won't talk about that, but it's possible. So she pulls from my 401k to essentially do the initial funding of the business. And so we're putting money in. I'm doing marketings. We're having photo shoots. We're like, yo, let's go. We're going to, this is somewhere around, let's go back. Earthquake happens, 2010. Remember I told you 2009 is the ideation.
Yep.
We stop everything to focus on the earthquake. So we're fundraising. We're going back into problem solution mode, right? And then so we were able to raise about $100,000 through the Haitian professionals of Philadelphia. We sent about 5 medical doctors down there and nurses. It was beautiful, but the business fell by the wayside. We ended up going to Ithaca, New York in 2011, and we became normal.
Normal meaning back to 9 to 5?
Back to 9 to 5s. Back to 9 to 5s.
And where was Kreyol Essence at this? Not
dormant.
Not even, okay.
Dormant. It was still there.
It was still
but
there, but dipping down.
And this is that year that we're like, yo, get us the drums. Like, what's going on?
Still being patient.
Yeah, still being patient, still trying to figure out. But but we're moving on with our lives. Like, we're vacationing, we're dating.
Keeping the connection high.
Keeping the connection high. Exactly.
There you go.
We're traveling together.
There you go.
And then a friend of ours calls us. I'm having a conversation with her. I'll never forget that. Flora Seymour said she built. She was actually one of the first Haitian Americans to have an art gallery in Old City Gallery Row in Philadelphia. Bobby, like the only black woman to do it. And she said to me, your 100% is everybody else's 80%.
Meaning exactly.
Perfection is the enemy of progress. We're sitting here trying to get the perfect label, get the right items. And she's like, just launch already.
Yeah, do it now.
Just do it now. Do it now. And there was something about that, when God speaks through you, through people, that was like one of those moments where it was just like, okay, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And then I think, so now we're pushing somewhere around 2014. We're like, okay, we're going to do this. So we said that we gave ourselves a timeline. We said that by Black Friday, Cyber Monday of that year, we need to launch the website. And gosh darn it, we did it.
You didn't. You did it. So before then, there's no website.
There's no website.
You're selling it through telephone,
PayPal,
word of mouth.
Word of mouth. And it's still like, okay, hey, we're figuring out, okay, can we really do this? Let's build our confidence up. We get the drum a year later, right? But, the 4 drums, and we're putting, little bottles, we're breaking little bottles down in our garage. And but it wasn't like that full-on commitment to move forward until Florissy said that to us. Wow. And so we launched. And, someone asked me the other day, it's like, okay, when do you know that you actually have something? It's a business and whatever. And I was like, when you stop seeing your friends ordering online.
That's a good one.
It was as simple as that, right? That was my first marker of like, oh, I don't recognize these names anymore. Something's working. I think I got something here, So that was a dope feeling, and that just gave us the momentum, to continue formulating it into a business. And right around that time, Yve-Car then makes a decision to pursue her master's at Cornell. And we got into
what year is this?
So we're 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2013, 2014, because 2014, May of 2014, she finishes her master's at Cornell.
Okay, but I thought you said you didn't launch the website in 2014, or was that? You said you did or you didn't?
We did.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was that November of 2014.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got you.
Okay.
And then but throughout that, again, like you have this idea, we're putting it. We're type A people. So we're going through the motion, but it was that. I think as entrepreneurs, you hit that point of inflection where you make that commitment.
Yeah.
Something pushes you to be like, this is not a side hustle anymore. There's a decision, either you get pushed out of work, the bills are short, like something happens, whatever that is for you in your journey. you have to listen to the whispers of the universe to say, this is not the place. This is not where God intends you to be. There's another place that you should be.
Absolutely.
And if you, and it goes by. Like, I'm sure we all have that in our intuition. But if you stop and listen to it and be like, okay, hey, and it was that period where we're having a conversation one morning and we have to go to a conference. And Yve-Car's holding down a full-time job at this point. I'm dwindling down.
What is she doing at the time? Curious.
She's at Cornell. So she was heading up their diversity alumni affairs.
Okay.
And for her, that was her dream job.
Okay.
Right? It was like, imagine that, right? You
you got a dream job, but still
Dream
pursuing
job.
this.
Dream job,
Right.
you know, and for her, it was like, I want to be in academia, like I want to stay and follow distraction. Business was far from my head. I was in business, like I said, with Nouveau Concepts and my graphic design, but at this point, I start shutting it down because I'm getting burnt out. You know, I have to be the creative, I have to be the director, and I have to manage a team. I had a team of about like 10 to 20 people at any given time globally. Like,
Oh, wow.
this was globalization before, you know, it existed. Like, I went on and I found designers and coders in India that were building websites for us.
Before Fiverr even.
Before Fiverr. Yeah.
That's what's up.
But I think it was just like that Korea sort of like bug in the earlier years that just gave me like this global mindset. And so we had designers both in the States, both overseas.
Close
Yeah.
I'm messing with you. So I understood a little bit of that, but I didn't really understand it. I was just moving. I'm going in the motion, and a lot of us get like that, right? We're just going. We're moving.
Going. Yep.
We're not strategic about it. We're just moving. And so Yve-Car came up to me one day. She was like, I think I'm gonna quit.
And this is after how long she's on the job?
2011, maybe about 2 to 3 years. Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna
Her
quit.
dream job.
Her dream job.
I want to quit.
Yeah. And what it was HRA. Shout out to Furman and Magali Backer. They would do these conferences in the States to really bridge the gap between Haitian Americans and Haiti and exchanging business exchanges. And so they were having one of their inaugural conferences in DC. And she had given her time off to take this trip. And she's like, look, I did my work. Hey, boss man, I did what I'm supposed to do. Give me my PTO. They denied it.
Wow.
And she ended up going anyway.
Here's a question.
Oops.
So you proof of concept is proven. You guys launched a website. Are you guys doing at that time when you said you realized that it's official?
Yeah.
When you seeing your friends not ordering, you're seeing people that you don't recognize. Are you doing like Facebook or Instagram advertising at the time, or is it just?
Mas ça pas exister, boss.
So that's what this is all natural, organic.
This is all sales
coming in.
No,
Gotcha.
you don't know any of that. You know, it's just like word of mouth,
that's what's
email. We actually had a really good email distribution list.
Good.
From just our days of nonprofit work, social impact. So when you see the Center for the Progressive Leadership, it was a track record towards politics. That was the direction that we were going.
Got you.
It was politics. It was community development, all that. So we had amassed a list, a personal list from that. So we use that as our initial sort of advertising, vehicle. Okay. But yeah, Facebook ads, they didn't exist back then. Google, I believe. I think Google was one of the first.
Google AdSense and Google.
Yeah. Google was one of the first. And so we started dabbling in that. I remember when Facebook did come out, I lost like $1,000 on the first day. I was, I thought I put 100. I'm the creative guy.
True. It happens.
It happens.
So you're wrapping all of the stuff, packaging all the stuff at home by yourself,
at home,
shipping it out.
Yep.
At what point? You may have to take a Cremos break for this. At what point do you guys get the crazy idea to say, y'all need more money and this whole Shark Tank thing comes?
That's years later. Years later. But you do bring up a really good point of like, yes, you get to that point of inflection. So yeah, you listen to the universe and it pushes you out. And then you get to say, hey, this is an actual business and I need money. I need cash. So when did that happen?
And the business is paying for itself.
And Well, no, we're still putting cash in.
Okay.
We're still putting cash in, but and we've always been bootstrapped. We're still a bootstrapped organization. what I mean by that is that we have not had major venture capitalist funds coming into the business, you know, with regards to like shares and what have you. So funds that we make goes back into innovation, goes back into product development, goes back into salaries and building the company. Yes, the old school way of building a business.
No doubt.
Again, not for the lack of trying, and to your point as far as challenges, it's because, you know, I think historically when we have sat down with some VCs and some of the venture capitalists, either they didn't fully understand the concept, or they were just pumping us for information, and that happens, right? They are planning to invest in another business, but see that you are a similar business and that you actually have great traction. And so they'll set up a meeting with you to be like, okay, hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? It's a vetting process for them to say, is the other business that I already committed to investing in is viable based on this proof of concept.
Gotcha.
So, you know, once you start understanding like those investment strategies in the game, and it's like, okay, no, let me continue doing my business. But that was that period. It was that one of the early periods that we recognized that we did need to start bringing cash in for staff, for more inventory, more resources. And we started hitting the pavement in the only place that we knew, institutional development. So this is post-earthquake Haiti. Nick and I were actually just talking about this earlier. Haiti was flooded with cash. You know, so all the commitments that came in from the NGOs, the organizations, bro, you had white kids out there living like kings and queens, son. Like they were,
it was crazy.
It was crazy,
It was
crazy. You know, NGOs is building stadiums in the middle of nowhere just to spend the cash, And so the plus side of that, there were some amazing business accelerators and concept units. Social business was in Haiti at the time. Leopard Capital was in Haiti at the time. And so they started really seeing what we saw early on, that entrepreneurship, business development is a way out of poverty, essentially, in Haiti.
Right.
Getting people back into tapping into their innovation is something that we can do. So we went that route. Again, HRA and the backers were really instrumental of like, you know, really creating that platform for us to speak to these individuals and have access, right? And so in building a business, and I was reminded about this a couple days ago, it's about access and it's about capital. You know, you have to be in those rooms. You have to be in these conversations to understand where the capital is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that's what HR, and that's why it was a pivotal moment for us, because HRA was such a big event for us. It was a make or break. So we ended up raising through that vehicle, those vehicles, where it was a commitment of about $1 million.
Wow.
Half of that was a convertible, was a reimbursable grant. What's a reimbursable grant? You spend the money, you put a ton of reports out, and the powers that be say, hey, we're going to put that money back. You know, it's like an IOU type of situation.
Gotcha.
And at the time, talk about challenges. So, you know, so we're growing. And again, like I said, this is around the time period that we're just putting the brand out there. Now that we have a little bit of cash, we can do some things.
You guys married at the time? Not yet.
I had proposed in 2009, but, you know, somewhere along the line with business and things, we never made it down the aisle. But you know that domestic partnership works out really well.
Okay.
Doing the Oprah and Stedman thing, you know,
that's
to the
it.
chagrin of our parents.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, I mean, at this point, they're cool with it now. They're like, look, they're just gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was all intentional. But you know, we again being both Type A personalities and like, and I think again like our commitment to Haiti like just superseded our personal needs and desires and things. It was just like, okay, failure is not an option. Failure was not an option. You know,
who were some of the people that you like kind of communicated with, like in the Haitian, you know, people that are like, because we meet all these kind of people,
right.
You know, people like, oh, I got connections here, I got connections there, I can get you into this store, into that store. Like, who were some of those people?
Like I said, I mean, I think Fabrice, like I said, Ahmad was one of those instrumental people of just being able to be like, pick up the phone and be like, okay, hey, I'm doing this program. I just met this individual. Hey, I think it'll be a good person for you to talk to. Regine Theodad, who built Miabel Cocktails. And again, this is a period where a ton of just Haitians are going back to Haiti. Haitian Americans are returning back to Haiti. And it was, again, when you talk about Renaissance, like, right? Like, it was one of those Renaissance periods. And some of our partners that we tapped into, again, Yunus Social Business was one of them as well. And Muhammad Yunus is like the godfather of like, Nick, what is it called again? Yeah, I'm blanking on the name, but yeah. But it's that whole social impact concept, social entrepreneurship. Yeah. And so, in this climate, we're getting mentorship from these organizations. You know, one of our first investment deck and understanding financial models and P&Ls, profit and loss statement, came from these individuals that we're interacting with. You know, and feeding us this information, even information now. Years later, we're like, because, you know, these kids are coming from MBA programs. They're working from Bain Capital, you know, and microfinance and lending. So they're getting this raw financial institutional knowledge that we just didn't have at the time. And so they're sewing into us and creating these models. But the problem was, for them, it was theoretical, right? You had just came from the halls of you know, Stanford or MIT or Harvard, and these are concepts, but now you're in the country. Now you have to listen to the farmers. You have to listen to the community. Right. You have to understand the ecosystem existed before you came down with your MBA. So how do you work within that ecosystem, right? I'm not saying it's perfect, but it existed. There was a community, there was business, there's a way of life that things was happening.
And acceptance.
And acceptance, right. So get into that. You know, the best way to sort of change is to understand, you know, so. Gotcha. So yeah, we're getting that knowledge, and it's fueling us. It's exciting, you know, we're growing and we're pushing in the 2014, 2015, you know, period, 2016, 2016, and then this is, you know, because of the reimbursable grant and things, the climate in Haiti starts to shift. It was a decision that was made, is that, okay, hey, we're not going to give you the cash that's required. Wow. So at this point, we're $300,000-$400,000 in debt, because that's our marketing budget, you know. So this is when the Facebook ads are happening. We're repackaging. We're like, okay, hey, we're growing this business. Done.
Yeah, y'all were banking on that money.
Banking.
Okay.
Banking on that money.
All right.
And so, I even get emotional thinking about it right now. Ooh. I promise I won't cry.
That was the rock bottom moment. You remember?
It was a rock bottom moment. You know, it's still tremors there, you know, because again, it's just like, okay, hey, what do you do? And again, you know, going back to the last episode that you guys had when talking about the dynamics of family, of marriage, of being a man, you know, so you marinate on that, you know, and it's like, okay, hey, not only are we doing something that we don't even understand what we're doing fully, right? We're just going. Now this hits, is like, how do you protect the marriage? How do you protect the business? How do you protect yourself? So we started doing a lot of Super Soul Sundays. That's when we started getting into like podcasts, the Tony Robbins, you know, so there was like a moment where, you know, when you hit those moments, you just have to will yourself back to yourself and accept where you are. So, and work hard to drop the ego so you can accept help. Right. And I think, again, in our community, it's always like, hey, no, I'm okay. Right. You know, you're dying inside. You're miserable. I'm okay. Seka dead my phone with. You know what I'm saying? No.
But we're really not. We're really not, yeah.
You're not. You're not. And so I think, you know, so we both had to go through our own individual journey to get to that. I got a job at Lush Cosmetics.
Wow. And
it was intentional. Well, one, because I'm like, okay, let me go back. Let me go back. We're in Miami at this point. So 2014, we leave upstate New York. We come down to Miami because of just the proximity that we needed to be in Haiti.
Yeah,
right.
And we're going back and
forth.
The
network in Haiti is getting bigger out there.
It's getting bigger. Yeah. So we're in Miami now. Miami 2015, 2016 is not the Miami that you see right now. Everybody popping bottles at 11. You know,
Yeah.
doing
Right,
that.
right.
It's a different, it was
Right.
very insular, very closed off. Every job was catering towards Spanish-speaking businesses in Latin American markets. And, you know, I'm pulling over every rock trying to find a job in advertising. You know, because at this point, I got to do what I got to do. I got to put some money on the table, you know?
So how are you guys paying you? I mean, like,
Yeah.
as far as
We
bills
never fully
and-
shut down. So
You
we
never
never
really
fully
shut-
shut down the
okay.
business, but we
Okay.
just didn't have like that momentum
But
that
you're
we
still
needed.
selling.
We're still selling. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're still
Okay.
selling. So in this period, as I go work for Lush, I wake up in the morning, I'm packing orders. And at this point, we shut down. We had 2 offices. We had a Haiti office. We had a US office. We shut the Haiti office down. We let go of our team. We just scaled down, bare minimum. We started from zero. We went back to Ithaca, New York, of just me in the garage, putting oil in the bottle. And we're talking, what, 2016. So at this point, like, people know us, like, the reputation is out, right? And so we're just right back to square one. And Lush was intentional for me because I'm like, as we're doing this, something says it's like, stay in the industry. Stay in the industry. Get to know the industry some more. That was another aha moment for me. I'm at Lush. I wake up. I put orders in. I wake up at like 6 a.m. I'm putting orders in. By like noon or something like that, I'm done. I got to make it up to the mall. I'm always late. I got like this 18-year-old like, Stéphane.
Where are you?
Where are you? Excuse me. Every day I was late. I felt bad. But the aha moment for me was I was good at my job. I was good. I'm selling $50 moisturizers. And I'm just saying, Stéphane, why are you so good at this? I know the ingredients. It was moringa oil.
Wow.
It's moringa. That for me was like, we got something here. That was like, I don't know what the fuck we need to do. We're gonna roll our sleeves back up. We're gonna get this engine going again. So that was like my aha. Yve-Car's aha came when she goes up to Cherry Hill where she grew up, and there's a Whole Foods there, and we wanted to be in Whole Foods. Like, we applied a couple times during this period, they didn't accept us, and she goes to meet, and again, we go back to the drawing board. We're doing customer discovery again. We understand that we need to pay attention to the consumer and identify and find a retail partner. So we're going back to doing customer discovery, and she's speaking to a buyer at Whole Foods, helping stock shelves, telling the story. She's like, oh my God, I love this. I'm opening up a flagship store in Philadelphia next month. I want this product in. At this point, Whole Foods is still very decentralized. The in-store buyers had the decision to say, okay, hey, Broom, I'm bringing you in. Now, we're still not officially in, and we knew that we still needed one more. And I just posted this on Instagram of like, there was, for Black History Month, of stores in Black-owned businesses that are in Whole Foods. It was you guys. It was Haitian American Caribbean women from our mailing list that we said, hey guys, call Whole Foods, email Whole Foods, go into your Whole Foods, ask for Yul Mascuti.
Wow.
And then they emailed us and they say, hey, stop.
Wow.
You're in.
Really?
Wow.
So, Magabzi, a lot of people say Haitians don't support Haitians. I can never say that about the Kreyol Essence story. It was built for us, by us, for all.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Congrats to that.
So Whole Foods, that's how Whole Foods came to be. And then at that time, Yve-Car also went through, and again, I'm searching, I'm figuring out some solutions, and I find out about this thing called the Sephora Accelerator. And this is 2017 right now. And I'm like, Yve-Car should be here. She's a dynamic woman. Look at all the shit that we've been doing in Haiti in all these years. She needs to be in this program. And God just worked in mysterious ways. There was somebody in Haiti who knew somebody in the universe or whatever who gets our deck in front of the Sephora Accelerator people. And we get into the program, and it was life-changing in the sense of we now understood the beauty industry. And we're talking 2017. Right?
It's like a crash course of the beauty.
Crash course of the beauty industry. We learned prestige, high, low, what a retailer's looking for. You know, Sephora was amazing for that, and it was just really pushing women into the industry, because at the time, beauty is predominantly managed and owned by white men. Mm-hmm. The brands, like, you know, all the brands that you love is major conglomerates, you know, and again, except for the brands that I mentioned earlier, right, that are now building their brands, and they're now sort of like the OGs and the guards. But so Sephora was really key on that, in developing that. And so, you know, we had an opportunity to go to Sephora, but we were in debt. We were in debt. And then so Whole Foods was an opportunity. Whole Foods showed us the pipeline and the path to get out of debt and to essentially make $1 million the first year.
Wow. So how many units did they
They took
purchase?
all.
They took all of
Yeah,
them.
they took, at the time we had, actually, no, they took all the castor oils. I don't remember. I'm not the numbers guy. Why would you do that to me? But they took all the full variations of our castor oil. And yeah, the opening order was beautiful. The opening order, I think, was somewhere about like $200,000, $300,000. You know, again, boom, we're getting out of debt. Now I'm learning how to fulfill another crash course, how to fulfill for retails. Because we're D2C at this point, right? Direct to consumer. I got to learn how to put a inner case label on. I got to learn barcodes and UPCs and, you know, the whole nine. So I'm just going online and figuring all this out. And just like, you know, getting as much information as I can, you know, to create. Because traditionally you would go through a third-party logistics company to set all this up, or your contract manufacturer would do all this stuff for you. But we didn't know. We didn't have that information. We didn't have that insight. So I had to do what I had to do and just go figure it out.
Wow.
Woo!
YouTube University.
YouTube University.
YouTube University. Yeah. Cream ice break?
Yeah, let's do it. If it's not that one, it's the other one.
Shout out to LS Liquor.
Let me tell you, everybody loved that LS. It's real smooth.
Nah, dope. You.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a refill too. Refill. Anybody refill? You good? Ruby's like, focus. She's into this interview. She's still getting all up. SK, you good?
All right. Oh man. Now memory lane.
Now you Gucci.
Gucci now, right?
So we rolling, right?
Yeah.
We rolling.
Yeah, we still rolling.
Okay. So at what point do you say how does Shark Tank how does that even become a conversation?
We're fans. We're huge fans of the shows, and you know, anybody in business and entrepreneurship, like
That was like the first.
What?
Yeah, that was like the first.
What? Valuations,
Yeah.
like, you know, everybody and their mother who wanted to be an entrepreneur was calculating valuations in their heads, you know, and trying to figure out, how did they get to that number? You know, and so that you know, YouTube University was one, Shark Tank was another one.
Absolutely.
So we were always a fan of the show, and so we're now going into our 5-year anniversary, and Whole Foods is good. We're doing good money in Whole Foods. It's successful. We're getting out there. We go from one store in Philadelphia. Within a year, we're at 400 stores nationwide. That's unheard of.
You said 400?
400 stores. Yeah. And that's all. I mean, right now, I think they're up to 420.
Wow.
So Whole Foods, you do not have a lot of stores in the grand scheme of like retail, but for that type of, even Sephora only has maybe about like 400, 500 stores nationwide as well. So it's really, when we talk big box, that's what it is, right?
So how did
Target?
Just real quick before you jump into the Shark Tank part? How did it go from one store to one Whole Food to the next Whole Food to the next?
Grit, man. Like, there were periods where I would just me and Yve-Car drive up and down the turnpike, going store to store.
And you literally just
literally
door salesman.
Literally used car salesman. Like vibes.
Wow.
Yes, we would walk with baskets of castor oil, little mini castor oils in our pockets. Like we would go into regional stores with no appointment, because we Googled the dude on LinkedIn and was like, I got a meeting with John. And literally said, I'm talking old, this is like Silicon Valley like type of stuff. Like,
Nah,
you
this
know,
is
the
inspirational,
movies
bro.
that
Wow.
you hear.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
some inspirational shit.
So, you know, like
That's crazy.
we would go up, fly up to like Philly,
Mm-hmm.
and just work our way down the turnpike. Go to Pennsylvania, go to Maryland, DC, Virginia, and then fly back down to Miami and Florida. Or leverage, like if we knew we had a meeting up there, you know, if I'm in New York, doing something, some press, whatever.
Right.
We would leave like these fancy little dinners and like just walk out and go and hustle and just go, hey,
Wow.
here's a bottle of castor oil. You know, like,
Yeah.
do you want this in your store? I did the same thing in Florida, like, you know, going up and down Biscayne. You know, we're living in Homestead at the time, so it was beautiful. It was the last city in Miami.
Right.
So I had to go from Homestead and went all the way up to like as far as like West Palm Beach of finding Whole Foods that would want the products to
But
carry.
I'm sure it was an easier pitch because once you're in one,
Yeah, exactly.
you right.
We were able to
You
use
get to the
momentum.
next one, you say, "I'm already here."
But it's
here, and-
decentralized. All the decisions are based on the buyer and the
buyer.
region of that store.
Cop.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So as we're going through this, then we find out how it works nationally. Excuse me. So now we shift our, we shift our attention to headquarters, which is in Austin, Texas. So now we were able to use that traction of the stores that we did get into. And then that's when we ultimately launched that campaign of just like, okay, hey, like, let's get our community to want this to go nationally. And so, but yeah, those stores, all of our retail channels that we have is just straight grit. We chase people down. Ulta, we chase them down at a trade show.
What's beautiful about the castor oil is that the element of Haiti is beautiful, but when it comes to the essence of the product,
Right.
no pun intended, it
No, pun. Like,
pun,
that's
pun,
why.
pun.
The essence was exactly,
it's for hair.
Yeah.
It's for hair growth
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hair treatment and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it works. So anybody is.
That's it. That's
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah,
can purchase
yeah,
it
yeah.
and see sales.
And look, I'm not going to even take credit for this. It was one of my mentors. I had lunch with him earlier, and he was like, you know, yes, what we need to start shifting our narrative is not just for us, by us, but for all by us, right?
That's deep.
And creating things and sharing the culture with the world. I mean, the biggest pop artists is right now don't even speak English. Is not their first language.
No.
yeah.
You know, so I think there's a shift really happening
Absolutely.
in which we just need to continue being a part of that, doing stuff like this more to
And
share our narratives.
You know who said that was the owners of LS Cremas. They said the same thing,
Yeah.
that, you know, we have such a rich culture with the taste of the Cremas that we wanted to share the culture with everybody.
with everyone.
Yeah,
So
Sure, that's dope.
Yeah.
I don't think we asked that question. Who created the name?
I'll give it a joint effort, Yve-Car.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You know, I think I can't remember. We're vibing, we're figuring out a name. It was, you know, and then during this period, everybody wanted us to call it Huile Noire, you know, the French.
Real noir.
Yeah, yeah. They
That
wanted,
LW
Yeah.
is
yeah. And I was adamant that it needed to be Kreyol. It needed to be
Okay.
Haitian. It needed, you know, we needed to get to the root of the country, of our people. Yeah, French is a part of our history, but we're black. We're African. You know, where in essence came to exactly to your point of the essence of the masculinity is so deeply entrained, rooted in it. So essence just had to follow. The Creole was the French, the Taino, the Spanish, the African blending of everything. And in essence was just, we're creating a product that is essentially the essence of that.
You know what's so fascinating about this is because Glad and I, we've been through this where it was
Yeah.
kind of like when you're formulating,
Yeah.
you know, you're
Yeah.
doing this whole
Yeah.
Haitian thing, but at the same time, yeah, we're in business, we're entrepreneurs, we're pushing the brand, but at the same time, you're learning
Yeah.
about your culture.
Oh, yeah.
The richness
Oh my
of
God.
like,
Yeah.
Oh my
you know,
God,
even
yeah.
through Sac Passe,
Yeah.
it was kind of like,
Yeah.
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 what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all of this happened
Yeah, and then how do we put this on a shirt?
on a
and
t-shirt.
what kind of
To
fabric
encapsulate.
and-
I mean, bro, look, I get stopped left and right with this because I think this is one of those hoodies that you did so, right?
Yeah,
and look, like I said, I've been following you guys for the inception. I think you guys launched around the same times, and even the T-shirts. I remember the T-shirts captured that. And I, as a creative, I'm gonna give my flowers to you guys as fellow creatives of
thank you,
just
thank you, man,
you
thank
know
you.
the logo, throwing Sac Passe on like. everybody, like, come on, like you walk into a room, sac passe, right? So I think it was genius to essentially use that as the tagline and as the name of the brand, right? Because I always say, look, if people can say Dolce & Gabbana, Da Vinci, blah, 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 make the effort to say sac passe. Make the effort to say Kreyol Essence, Rambamboku. Like, why not?
Absolutely.
Put some respect on the name. Like, you put respect on European brands that you can barely say and afford.
Yeah. You're right. You're 100%.
Like I hate to say, Balenciaga. I'm like, Balen.
Yeah.
What?
So, sorry, guys. I'm in my God flow.
Nah, you're good.
All right, you good,
It's
bro.
your episode, bro.
It's your episode, bro. Let's go.
Good.
Yeah.
$400,000
Yeah.
on the table with Mr. Wonderful.
Woo. Yeah.
37%, bro. Jeez.
So Shark Tank. So
Wait, before we get...
Yo.
How do you prepare?
Yes.
Like, is there an application?
Yeah.
Is there an
Question.
application?
That's a
You're
great
gonna
question.
love this.
Great question.
I want to know. Like,
You're gonna love this because of where we are right now.
okay.
We're gonna love this. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're 5 years in. We're in Homestead. We knew we needed a beauty retailer. Like I said, Whole Foods is doing well, but to truly be in the lexicon of the history of beauty, which is my dream for Kreyol Essence, right? When we talk about, the long term, like I want Kreyol Essence to be in that lane. We needed to anchor ourselves in a beauty space. Ulta was the target for me. I like the what's called high-low in the industry, right? So, you can find your prestige, your $50, $40 moisturizer, mixed in with like your $8, $10, I don't know, shampoo or body wash, right? Something along that line. We set our target on Ulta. We started going through different trade shows and again, hitting the pavement again. Every time we gotta do what we gotta do, we hit the pavement. Just go out there. Yve-Car's coming from a trade show. She misses an audition in Florida for a Shark Tank. So we had made the decision of just like, okay, look, we're 5 years in. What do we got to lose? And we pushed through the self-doubt. We pushed through the like, I'm not feeling and that was what was in our heads. It's like, you hear these businesses and it's like, oh, look what they've been able to do. We're not there yet, we were in our heads. And so we pushed through that. Okay, boom, audition. She misses the Florida one. There's another one in Harlem, actually. I think it was originally supposed to be in Harlem. And this is around the time that, I forget the brother's name, if you watch this, sorry. But they were making a concerted effort to bring Black-owned businesses into Shark Tank. And so they were going into the community to essentially find businesses. So it was originally in Harlem. Last minute, it gets changed to Brooklyn. Guess where?
Wow.
Not here.
In this building.
Get the
Upstairs.
Upstairs.
You're lying.
Jeff.
Really?
For real.
Yeah.
In this building.
In this building.
Told you it was gonna be a historical interview. Did I say it was gonna be a historical interview?
Wow. I did not know that.
And so Yve-Car's like, oh, should I go? I was like, yo, it's Jeff. Jeff's family, bro. Go. Go. If anything, you got to see Jeff. And we knew Jeff from the Haitian professional period, like,
Shout out to Jeff and the
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff Lindo.
Good dude.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, boom, go. She goes again. She kills it, crushes it.
The pitch.
The pitch.
So
you do
there's producers. It's the producers there.
This is the recruiters. This is
the recruiters.
This is the recruiting producers. This is
Okay.
We're vetting to see if you even get another call.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
This is beyond JV. Okay. Wait, where do you go before JV? No, it's not even minor. I don't know.
Minor
leagues.
The minor leagues, right?
Gotcha.
So, she gets in. They love it. She charms them. We get a call within a week or so, and they say, you need to do another audition of everybody that's going to be on air. So that's including me.
So you wasn't there?
I wasn't there. No, I'm
audition.
holding the fort down in Miami at this time.
Gotcha.
And she's up in New York. So she does the first pitch by herself.
Okay.
The second pitch, we have to do it on camera and send it over to them.
Okay.
So like good Haitian kids, we put our best Sunday attire on,
Yeah,
It's like, I'm coming in front of the Sharks. Hello, Sharks. And we do 2 takes. The one take, I'm butchering my lines. I'm like, all formal. Then we do another one. Actually, the first one was like super casual, just like this. I'm vibing. I'm in my flow. I got my T-shirt on because I'm in the garage right now, like going back. You know, she's like, we gotta do this, and I'm like, I got orders to get out. You know, so we send both of them. They pick the one where I'm in my T-shirt.
Wow. It's
That's
more
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow,
And so we're like, okay, boom, we send it. We don't hear anything back. And months go by, you hear nothing. We're in another trade show. This is a trade show where you do a lot of speed dating of retailers. And so it's funny, Yve-Car's taking the main meeting. I'm designing and updating our pitch decks to cater to the retailers that we meet.
Wow. Oh, man.
And so, you know, one meeting happens, boom, I change it up, boom, here's another one.
And how long are these pitch decks?
Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Tops.
Like tops.
Gotcha.
You know?
Okay.
And this is where we meet Alta. So we're meeting Alta at this period. And then the Alta story is very interesting. Oh, God damn, I have some interesting stories. And I get the call from the producers because Yve-Car's in the meeting right now. And she's like, hey, they're like, we want to talk to you, but it needs to be both of you guys on the phone together. And I was like, yo, like she's trying to find some deals right now. Like I haven't heard from you in months. I can't disrupt her because we're trying to get the bag.
Yeah.
So I whisper in her ear, hey, we just got a call from Shark Tank. Don't take the next meeting. Let's meet with them. Boom. We want you on.
Wow.
Well, like, all right, cool.
Wow.
Now, how soon after you get on?
Yeah.
Or
Even
you schedule?
You're just like,
oh, I'm so, yeah. Because at this point, like, they playing with my emotions. They play my emotions already for like, what, 3-4 months? And then on top of that, answering your question, from that confirmation to on air, and we're filming in LA, a year.
A year?
whole year.
Wow.
That's a lot of patience, bro.
It's a lot of patience. Because they tell you it's a second job. You go through a full due diligence process, you know, you talk with them, you know, and then it's real. It is and we've been through pitch competitions already. Like, you know, very early on when you asked the question as far as how we were funding the businesses, we funded the business through pitch competitions. There are periods where, you know, New York State was doing something. It was like, okay, hey, let's pitch $1,000 here, $2,000 here, $5,000 there. And what people don't realize, the glamorous part, the non-glamorous part of entrepreneurship there is that period, nothing's coming in.
Absolutely.
You know, and you do what you got to do.
Yeah, you drive.
You know, to get there. And so we were used to that rigor of pitching, of, you know, hey, give me this, give me that, change this, change that. So, you know, and
So
again,
y'all were ready at that moment.
we were, yeah.
Y'all were ready.
Okay.
We didn't know that. We didn't realize that at the time.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah. And so you get to LA, and even then, they don't even tell you you're actually airing. They say it's harder to actually get onto Shark Tank and air than it is to get into Harvard.
Wow.
And there are people who actually aired that day, and their episode never made it on air. So they can fly you all the way out there, and they never run your episode.
Wow.
Wow.
And the episode itself, for us, what you saw was 15 minutes. For us, was an hour and a half of just pitching. And, you know, once you're done with, like, the 5-minute, like, okay, hey, boom, like, it's a real meeting. It's a real meeting where you're fighting for the livelihood of your
That was
family,
an hour and a half meeting?
But not everyone.
Okay.
You know, it was for us because we were going back and forth. We were like, hey, you know,
But
we
you guys
want
were
to deal.
down to the last
Last of the
So
ship.
who was your target person? Because I know there were 5 judges.
Yeah. I mean, we each had one. Yve-Car really wanted Mark.
Okay. I thought Mark was going to be the one.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be Damon Terry or Lori, because Lori, she's in cosmetics.
She's in
isn't she?
cosmetics. Yeah.
I
Or
thought it was
QVC.
QVC.
right.
So
And look
she
at God,
understands that industry. So I thought it was gonna be
Right.
be her. I got some numbers here.
Oh.
Go ahead, brother.
I got some numbers.
Got
Okay, so from my recollection, it was 400. Y'all pitched $400K for 10% of the company, right?
And meanwhile, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're still in debt now.
No, at this point, so 2019 is when we aired.
Oh.
Right.
So we're looking for expansion.
Okay,
You're looking
gotcha.
for
Yeah,
expansion.
we're looking, and then we had met Ulta that summer, and pushed through. And again, same thing. There was a trade show that we went to, and again, this is like classic like startup type of stories. I think we happened to be near or around Chicago, and we hit up the buyer and says, "Hey, I'm in town," and she's like, "Oh, okay, hey, come to the headquarters tomorrow." Okay, we booked the flight.
That's crazy. That's what's up. Go ahead, man.
So
That's crazy.
you explain to the Sharks that in 2014 y'all made 135K in sales. 2016 y'all made 40K in sales, and that's when everybody goes, "Whoa!"
That's the
dip you're talking about,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, what happened? And then 2017 y'all made 327K in sales.
Yeah.
And then that's when Mr. Wonderful, he starts to lean in.
Yeah.
Around that time.
Ooh.
Right. And then
interesting.
in 2018 I made 1 million in sales and I believe 300K in profit or something like that.
Yeah.
And in 2019 y'all projected that's when y'all went on. Y'all were projected to make 2 million. Right? So initially you said 400K, you need 400K for 10% equity.
Yeah.
And Lori said no.
We have clinicals now.
Right, because of the clinicals. Damon said he doesn't know
The industry. Yeah.
He doesn't know the industry, so I'm out.
Yeah.
And then Mark, what did Mark say again? I forget.
I think
Mark,
he just said,
it was the numbers.
Yeah,
It was
he was like it was the numbers. And then Barbara said the same thing. Like she just wasn't even.
She wasn't. Yeah.
interested.
She didn't seem interested.
She didn't seem interested. Yeah.
Kevin, who I didn't think was gonna.
No one. I don't think.
I didn't think.
Yeah.
He was leaning in. Because he was all about the numbers. He was calculating.
It's all about numbers. He's like, I want to make money.
He's like, I want to make money. So he he counter offers and he says 400K, 37. He said 37% equity.
Yo, bro, I was on the edge of my seat. Like,
We're like, what?
please don't say yes right away.
So then you guys counter that and y'all say 400K for 20%.
Yeah. I think
20 to 25.
we ended up settling at 25 or something like that. Yeah.
Right. So I think it was 400K.
For I think it was 400K for 25, but then for 20%.
No.
It was 400K for 20.
400K for 20%. But that's when you started crying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something like that.
That's when you started crying. And then they were like, "What?"
Traumatizing me on
Yeah,
camera.
they were like, "Why are you crying?"
Yeah.
And then that's when you go into the whole story
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
And then that changed because y'all couldn't come to an agreement yet.
Yeah.
And then that's when the whole royalty conversation starts.
But what was crazy was that I got text messages from WhatsApp, my mom, everybody. I don't know if it was like in the media. Yo, yeah, everybody like on Facebook.
Yeah,
Like, y'all need to watch because they knew like I'm a big Shark Tank fan, and they were like, yo, you need to watch Shark Tank. There's Haitians on Shark Tank. I'm not thinking it's gonna be someone pitching,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a Haitian investor that everyone knew, and I was like, oh, dope. And then Kreyol Essence comes. I'm like, I know that guy.
I know, right? Yeah.
So
a few years ago, he was just pushing his castor oil in my face.
So Kevin didn't want the 400K at 25%.
Yeah.
He was hard on the 400K and 37%. That didn't happen. And then Yve-Car says a royalty where you guys say 20. I think it was at first 15 cents.
Yeah.
And
That's what went up to 25. Yeah.
And then he said 25 cents and 5% equity, and then that was the deal.
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Did you have that in your back pocket? The royalty part?
We did.
Okay. Okay.
So that was your plan B.
Okay, so I'm the creative, okay? And I knew I was not going to go on national TV and not lock the numbers in my head. So I had told Yve-Car, I'm like, what is our threshold? You know, because I don't think that quickly when it comes to like the valuation, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, it sort of has to be laid out. Like I'm the kid that's doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's me. And so I was like, okay, hey, I understand this concept, but let's talk the threshold because I know there's like we either 5 and what's our max. of that we're willing to do. And so we agreed to that, and I locked it in my head. Yve-Car forgot.
No way.
And because you're in it, like it is a meeting. It's a passionate meeting that you're having, and so you're in the moment, you're in your flow. And so there was a period that we go out of the hallway and we're like, all right, hey, like what do we want to do? Like what are we countering? And I was like, hey, remember we talked about royalty and the different thresholds? And she's like, okay, cool. And even then she says that she forgot, like up until because what you saw is that clip happens towards the middle of the negotiations. And then the crying happens, this, that. So there's a period of time where I remind her of that. But then let's say it's like a good 15 minutes by the time we get to that final decision. And then it just clicked for her. I was like, oh, would you be open to a royalty? I was like, oh, okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, it was in the back pocket, but it was a forgotten back pocket. But I guess it was locked in the back of the brain somewhere around that. But,
so how did that work out as far as the royalty?
It's a partnership. It's but I mean, I think one of the biggest things as far as the growth that we've experienced is definitely the visibility, definitely, being able to share the story, having that reaction that that the community had. And I went in when we were crafting our pitch, we knew, again, failure is not an option. We're not going to embarrass the community in national TV. So, we wanted to make sure we worked really hard on the pitch to make it as authentic as possible. I was running around at midnight before airing. Call time was at 4 a.m. and I'm getting flowers at Walmart. To put some finishing touches to the set. You design your own set.
Okay.
And
you had models.
And the one is
the farmers.
That's Yve-Car's cousin, Talia, who also did makeup for us.
Wow.
The guy is my cousin, blood cousin, Kafi, who's living out in LA. So I called him up and I was like, yo, like it was a family affair.
That's what's up.
It was a family affair and a community affair. Karina, she was a model. She was like the one professional actress. She was actually on what's the Franklin State show? The drug show. Franklin. You guys ain't watching? Snowfall. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Studio audience, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so she's a Haitian American actress out in LA that I ended up connecting with. So it was a family affair on there.
So since that partnership with Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, how has the company grown since then?
Yeah, I
2019, did you hit your 2 million mark?
Yes, we did. We did. Yes. Okay. Amen. Béni soit l'Éternel. Béni soit l'Éternel. So I mean, I think since then and since Shark Tank overall, it's the large visibility of now going back to your original question as far as ads, right? So now we can essentially take that, cut it up, do some digital ads with it, so that we can increase the visibility of the brand. Ulta has helped tremendously since then. Just a few weeks ago, we were sitting with our buyers and they confirmed that 60% of our customers identify as non-Black. Right, so that means it's Caucasian, it's Latino, it's those that don't necessarily, when they fill the census out, they identify as non-Black. And again, going back to the point of, for all by us, is that now what I found exciting about Ulta is that it's that opportunity for us to put this heritage in the homes of people all over the country. And so we're nationwide with Ulta at about 3,000 doors. And then JCPenney comes on board. Soon after that, we did JCPenney Salon, just as an opportunity to really get the product, get the masquiti, the shampoo, the conditioner, our entire hair care assortment that promotes hair growth in the hands of the salon experts and the stylists, so that they can.
Wow, what are your sales looking at for this year? You think?
I'm not going to share that number with you, but
last year. How about last year's numbers?
I won't share that number either.
2 years ago? Let's go, Stéphane. You're in the hot seat.
But we're profitable. We're
profitable. Okay. All right, good.
And it's poignant to say that too, because we're entering a market in which, historically it was all about growth. Like investments that were going to businesses. It was like, okay, grow. I don't care if you're profitable. But we've been we being bootstrapped. It's your money. It's our baby, right? it's again, like, you know, that emotional breakdown is just like, you know, we wear this on our sleeve, literally. So I'm not messing with people's money.
All right. And you're still giving back to the farmers.
And we're still,
Let me, quick question about the farmers. So, yes, for all by us, everything. So you're now 60% in non-Haitian households. Awesome. Now, has the question ever come across the both of you, like non-Haitians going into Haiti and creating their own castor to...
That's a good point. You know, here's the beauty. I went to a trade show called Cosmoprof this summer, the biggest beauty trade show in the world. And there was a Haitian consortium there that was through, I think, like IDB or one of the banks, Royal Bank of Canada. Anyway, one of the nonprofits. And 3 of the businesses down there had Haitian black castor oil that they were selling. And I'm at that point where I recognize the history that we made. Literally creating the supply chain for castor oil and helping put it in the map. I'm not going to say help, right? Because I know that I stand on the shoulder of giants. There were people who started this but way before I did. So by the time I got into Haiti, at least there was still a landing spot. Or by the time that I got into Whole Foods and they heard that there was this Haitian beauty brand, maybe, you know, others who came before me were, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were there, so to soften that landing for me. So I can't say I did it alone. But as far as that supply chain in Haiti, yes, I'll take it. It was Kreyol Essence that really made that popularity coming out of Haiti.
Yeah, you guys are pioneers.
Yeah, and being unapologetically Haitian. At that, right? So that's what I would probably say that we did. So I'm at that point now, and I think it's a lesson of just business overall and just life, of just not looking at what others are doing, continuing to move forward. And, you know, even if it is competition, you want to be here when your competitors are here.
Right. So they
know
are trying to replicate it, but they won't be able to duplicate
You know, and also...
They can't duplicate it.
And the supply chain is increasing, right? At the end of the day, that was the vision all along.
Yeah.
Right? Like, to build an equitable system, an agricultural system. So if it is off the back of a Kreyol Essence, you're inspired by that. Now you're getting more farmers into the space.
Nice.
So it's going to start with castor oil. Then it starts with mango. Then it starts with this and chocolate.
Because that's what we used to, we were known for that.
Right, we're known for that. One of the initiatives that we're doing this year is we launched Mashi. On our website, and this was actually an idea that we had back in 2014. Yeah,
clever.
And it's saying, hey, look at the successes that we've been able to have. Look what's going on in the country right now. How can we pay it forward? And so what Mashi is essentially identifying artisans that are ready, that are retail ready, that can give us the inventory that we need at any given time, and we're lending a hand. We're opening up our web platform and giving them that opportunity to sell. We buy the inventory, and we offer it up to our consumers and our tribe to purchase. So
look at God.
What's your relationship with Kevin O'Leary?
I mean, at this point, it's just more of a relationship with like just ABC, Shark Tank overall, you know, as opposed to like individual, what have you. But you know, we continue to just like continue doing our thing and moving forward, you know. Look, if they call one day and say, hey, we want to do a follow-up story, of course I'll be ready.
Nah, you guys are ready.
Hey, as long as Kevin is happy, and
money,
the team over at Shark Tank is happy, so it's all good.
Money.
You know, you guys are profitable, for sure.
Absolutely.
I think it's time to do some unboxing. I mean, we gotta let people know what's in the box, bro.
Oh, Lord.
First of all, the packaging is amazing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
You want to talk about the packaging?
Yeah,
right,
let's talk about the packaging.
So, like I said, I'm creative heart through and through. So we had the idea. So when Yve-Car and I were actually developing this, she was my creative director at the time, and we're looking for inspiration. We're looking for things that we want. And how do we keep it Haitian, right? This strip right here actually, for me, was inspiration of my experience in Haiti, of watching the tap-taps and the artistic expression that represented in the taps.
Very
And
nice.
so the geometrical shapes came directly out of
point it to your
inspiration.
point to your camera. Yeah, there you go.
The geometrical shapes came directly out of inspiration for the
Just
tap
like
taps.
on the box.
Just yeah. So
Gotcha.
as you can see, it's that common denominator. It's that strip, that creative asset that we have in throughout the packaging. Of course, the wood, an homage to our agriculture, to the society. We are an agricultural people, so that was the inspiration. And of course, as we started understanding and learning the industry more, we switched over to plastic. Oh, I'm sorry, to glass versus the plastic. It really keeps the efficacy of the oil, the sustainability of the oil, really intact through the glass. So we make that commitment. Glass is more expensive, but it was a commitment that we made to making sure that everyone's always getting quality oil coming out.
Can I put that on my beard?
You can, yeah. This is actually the mango. It's a lighter.
Oh, the mango papaya?
Yeah, the mango papaya.
That is the most popular, yeah.
It's a lighter viscosity, so we blended it with coconut oil. It has like some of the castor oil in there as well, the papaya oil. So we knew we wanted like a thicker or lighter viscosity to really penetrate, and especially those with a thinner hair texture. That for those that says, masculine toy, it's too thick, I can't work with it.
Right.
This was a wonderful innovation, that we came up with to ensure, again, to hit that mark for all by us.
Nice. And how were you applying that? Like, how would women apply that? We want to know.
Yeah, we want to know. All right. So, very intentional with regards to a couple things when it comes to the packaging. And, especially when you get into consumer packaged goods, you really have to think about not only just what's inside the bottle, but what the user experience is like. So there was a period where we didn't have, as you can see we have this, what's called an orifice reducer. You would pull it out and oil just spilled everywhere. And so the orifice reducer essentially keeps it nice and clean.
Oh.
Without the oil getting all across. And then, one of the best ways we kept the dropper, one of the reasons we switched over to the dropper, is that you can essentially just go ahead and part your oil, part your hair, run it along your scalp. And so the dropper itself is its own tool. It's an applicator, and you can essentially just use l'autre c'est cheveux,
Yes.
Before you put the bonnet on and go to the silk bonnet and go to sleep, So this is what the wives are doing in the bathroom.
Very nice. Very nice.
You in there too long. I feel you. Nah, this is
You got some other stuff in there.
What do we got? What do we got?
You got some good stuff in there.
All right. So we started with the oil.
This guy wants
Boom.
to pass it around. You're not gonna have it by the end of the night.
This
have it by the end of the night.
this was an exciting project. This was a cleanser. When we discovered moringa oil on a trip to Haiti. And again, when we talk about just respecting the culture, the history, and the traditions, we were at an apothecary store, Bernard, Plasbag, and we're doing market research, and we're out there, and he's like, "Hey, Yve-Car, Stéphane, I have something for you." A little French Haitian accent. Put it, eat this. It's gonna change your world. And we put the moringa. Anybody ever eaten raw? You've had it, right? So it gives you that bitterness and that sweetness, and then you drink
like
the
a
water.
superfood.
Yeah, it's a superfood, and so we just fell in love with it. It was one of those discovery stories, and so we knew that it was also great for the skin. It's loaded with 96 vitamins, and not only internally.
Really?
Yeah, the oil itself, a single hero ingredient. We call it, no, I can't say it on camera. We call it a natural word that rhymes with box.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Because it's known to really help fill in the cracks in the skin and just really leave that moisturizing effect on the skin. And so that single hero ingredient, we linked up with one of our dear friends that produces products out of Ghana and Nigeria, and then blended it with African black soap.
Wow.
Damn.
So this is a moringa blend, liquid African black soap that you're getting in
Liquid black soap. Wow.
And this as well. This is what the body wash.
That's the body wash.
That's, okay, so that's the body wash.
Yeah.
That's more like an oil blend.
This is it has about like a two to three. It's not a lot of oil in there, but at least enough so that your skin, because we know traditionally black soap can be very drying. So we blended the moringa oil in there to combat that dryness, and you're still getting that moisturizing effect without the product buildup. You know, it's not going to clog the pores. And because the moringa oil actually deeply penetrates the skin, you know, you're essentially getting that effect in there.
Question: can men put that on their scalp?
100%.
Like
100%. I mean, again, if you can use it as like a shampoo, you can use it. I travel with this.
how about for men who have spots around their neck and stuff like that?
You're getting so African black soap is actually known for the reparative nature. You know, the plantain ash that you're getting in there.
Ingrown hairs
you have
and
the
all that
ingrown
stuff.
hair.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
So that's why we ended up doing it as a cleanser. So you're getting that multi-purpose usage. You know, folks can say, okay, yes, our pricing is up there, but you're getting high quality and the purity, you know, of the products that you get in just 2-ounce bottle. And it goes a long way. You know, I'm going away for about 3 weeks. This is all I rock with. You know?
I feel you. So quick question, right? So in the past, and I've gone into these, you know, black-owned beauty stores. So they start one way.
Yeah.
But because of supply and demand,
it
gets watered down.
Yeah.
How are you guys even?
Great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Supply chain is tough. I can't lie. It's tough. Have we made some strategic changes based on the need? Yes. But are we looking at, is it better? 100%.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, okay, hey, there's a question. Okay. You know, let's take COVID. There was a period in COVID, there's what's called quartz, ingredients that helps with the emulsification and the efficacy of conditioners and shampoos, gone. Could not find it anywhere. I was, you know, I'm calling friends, I'm calling neighbors, other business owners, other brand owners, do you have any extra quartz that like I can find? My contract manufacturer couldn't even find it. So luckily we got over it, but those are the realities, right? Those are the realities that does happen. So it's not so much. And I think there's also a bit of an education that does need to happen in the community. A lot of times when we do make these changes, you know, it is for the better. It is also, what tends to happen is going from my garage to now 5,000 stores, I can't formulate the same way that I used to. You know, so yes, I need to bring in certain, and we look for clean alternatives, right? So we're Conscious Beauty at Ulta, Whole Foods. There are strict requirements that we've always adopted.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we've always adopted a European Union because they tended to be very early on the stricter model. So we look to see, okay, hey, if I'm replacing this, is it better for it? But also, guys, I'm running a business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
There's the reality of that.
Yeah.
You know, if we're gonna keep it real, if we're gonna talk like family, that's it, right?
Yeah.
So I have to look at the ingredient. What's the price? What's the cost? Is it efficacious? But one thing, our commitment is that we're not going to water it down for the sake of just cost. You're still getting a good quality ingredient in there, but I'm always looking at the margins. Again, we're bootstrapped. My margins is what allows me to do this dope box. My margin is what allows me to go to Haiti and build a foundation and do charitable donations, right? It's because of the margins. So if a new ingredient comes on the market and it's cheaper for me to make it, it's not just the price, is it cheaper, but it's also still good, and is it better?
Yeah.
And I think also technology, you know, and in innovation, there's a lot coming on the market right now that I can essentially get those cheaper ingredients. I don't like that term, but it is what it is, right?
I get what you're saying.
But you know, the cost effect. Thank you.
Cost effective.
Thanks for all the business people in the room.
Thank you, Sandy Kane.
Cost effective, you know, so that we can essentially manage the margins.
Okay.
But yes, it's twofold, and I know I said a lot there, but you know, one end of it is us understanding scalability as a business, right? And what's required to get there. And then the other part is also understanding that sometimes you just got to do what you got to do,
right?
You know, for the longevity of the product and also for the efficacy of the product.
Okay, good.
I have a question.
Dope, let's go.
Questions.
Didn't hear too much about your learning path in terms of your formula. And how did you guys learn about how to put your oils together?
Yeah.
You talk about efficacy, so obviously there's a learning, there's an education path there. What did that look like?
Yeah. Yve-Car will love this. Yve-Car has this uncanny ability to really understand the market, and as I was working with her, one thing that I identified is that empathy for women of color when it comes to their beauty routine and their needs, and just the lack thereof, or the lack of attention that historically was in the market. As I was building this, look, dream job, you're going up and down New York, you're having these fancy dinners, but you mean to tell me there's not one salon here in Manhattan that can give me a twist out, that can do a proper hot press, right? And so it's a challenge. And so all of it came out of necessity, of just like, hey, I'm willing to pay for a wonderful experience, but you don't have the training, you don't have the products and the ingredients to help me with that. So the castor oil was number one. Then we added the hair milk and the pomade. The pomade was another one, and that was pulling from the traditions of Haiti, of, right? So that's where the tradition came from. And again, it was like her journey of being a corporate woman in America and not having these ingredients in her back pocket as she's traveling across the country.
So you're learning as you go along.
Yeah.
Right.
And then my creative mind comes in, and I creative, but I still have somewhat of like a weird engineering mind, right? I can break some things down and say, okay, hey, maybe because I was a rule follower, and I can say, no. If you blended this together, I need to know how many ounces you put in there. So I went back and I started reverse engineering a lot of the stuff that she was doing in the kitchen and in the house, because she would say she's not the patient one. That's my virtue. So I had enough of that patience to, again, YouTube University. One of our first shampoo scent came from looking for essential oils that helped with hair growth. We were looking for natural ingredients, and so lavender is incredible for that. Orange has brightening properties even for the scalp. Your scalp and your skin is your biggest organ. So that's why, our hair care, it says scalp care as the main one, because we've always been adamant with regards to scalp care and knowing that that's the root cause or the root area of where hair growth stems from. Very early on, we would have customers saying, okay, hey, this is not working. What are you doing? And that's going back to our point on wellness, this product as well. We started listening to the tribe and saying that there's still an education that needed to happen in the community around wellness and what wellness actually means. It's not just, okay, buy my product, call me tomorrow, and you're you're ready for battle. Right. No, like, what are you eating? What are you drinking? Like, what's your habit? What's your stress level? What's your combination? And so when we came out with this is the superfood, the moringa superfood. It's an adaptogenic blend with biotin, hyaluronic acid, and ashwagandha, supporting healthy hair, skin, and getting people back into the kitchen of making the smoothies, making the drinks, the jus.
I must say, this kit, this bundle, and all your products help kickstart
the
process.
Exactly.
And then everything else is up to you.
And everything else is up to you. Yeah. But, look, we're here. We're your besties. So, we have a dope customer service team, and all that was iteration of learning. And like I said, we set out to create a white glove treatment for our customers. And so it extends across the entire experience.
How big is your staff right now?
We're about 20.
20. Okay.
We're
Question from the audience.
So, as we know, growing up with masculine, my mother used it for everything. The one thing I couldn't take was the scent. So, this is a product, and it's a scent that it's jarring. So, how did you think about that when you came up with it?
A lot of it was the education. Again, going back to creating as we went along. As we went, and literally at one point when we were running the Haiti office, we had an engineer working for us. So we reverse engineered the entire process of making the Une Mascotte in Haiti and understanding that and going deep into it. And we saw what was causing that scent. And it was the excess of water in the process. And so, because traditionally it does have a natural nutty, smoky aroma. That is this natural base. Anything beyond that means like the oil is rancid. And so that's what historically sometimes when you got that bad batch, like it'd be one time it'd be like, okay, it's good. Okay, I think I can got this. And then, when the next Haiti batch comes, it's like,
Yeah.
But knowing what we had in our hearts and where we wanted to go, we knew consistency was going to be a major thing for us. So we go down to the science. Every batch that comes in, we do what's called certificate of analysis. We look at the data, at the DNA of the oil. Like we go deep, to really understand the organic makeup, and we have what's called our standards. If it's outside of that conformity of the standards, if it's way over in the oil, it's not even just so much scent for us anymore. We look at the science, so we can tell in the science of the oil how much water is still left, or what the chemical properties are in there. And then. But the scent now I can say that. But before it was like we developed the lavender and the different scents, knowing that we needed these different alternatives to combat that. And Yve-Car was very adamant. She was like, "No, I want it. Gosh darn it! The minute you open this up, I want it to smell like a bouquet of flowers. Okay, that's what I want." And that was my mission. And then from there, I was able to play around, figure out what the percentage that I needed, getting an understanding of that, and then working with professionals who actually know this, the formal labs. So we don't skimp out on research and development.
I'm not sure if we asked you this question, but what town in Haiti or city in Haiti do you work?
We range. We work all over. We've worked all over the country. We've done work in the south, Lakai, Mirbalin, Croix-des-Bouquets. We haven't really done the north.
Okay.
But because our pockets and our sphere of influence and communities was within Port-au-Prince, the South Plateau Central, those were like the pockets that we traditionally worked in.
Gotcha. How's the Haitian government even? Are they receptive? Next question.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
no, because
this is a great segue.
It has to be.
This is a great segue because this is Rob's favorite. I call this guy Mr. President. He's the next president of Haiti.
Dude,
stand right here. Rob is the next president of Haiti.
No.
What are your thoughts on Haiti? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. I mean, we have to go there. We have to go there. We have to go there. So
yeah. What are your thoughts?
Keep hope alive. What's going on right now is not permanent. And which is why Mashe was created, which is why, we created a foundation. Our speaking fees go towards a foundation in which we can donate money to different organizations to make sure that to know. You know what it is? I think this might be unpopular. And I'm a historian. I love history, so get me with a glass of wine, and we can do this all day. But in the 90s, the 2000s, there was this period where we as Haitian Americans were really looking towards the people of Haiti to give us that pride, that sense of like worthiness of like, and again, we were having this conversation earlier on. It's like, okay, hey, like, we're seen as other than, right? But that acceptance of our Haitian people is some of the things that we were looking for, right? I think now is our time to give back to our brothers and sisters down there. And that was the impetus for Mashe. It's like, lend a hand, I see you, keep hope alive because this will not last. And when we get over this, let's learn. Let's sit down. Let's love each other. Let's figure out what the next SOP is going to be, so that we can be like the hottest country in the Caribbean for like the next century.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's my feeling, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Fair because I'm just gonna say one thing.
Yeah, no.
I'll probably get censored for saying, but no, I'm just kidding. Like with Kreyol Essence, I mean, you guys are giving back to Haiti, like literally. You're elevating the culture.
Yeah.
You're elevating
in every sense
the
of the
community.
word.
Yeah. So in my eyes, in my vision, I see it as, okay, here's a company. They started literally from their garage. They're here, Haitian American, born Haitians. So
Haiti #1.
They made it. They are it. That's like, you guys are that. You know how they call it the American dream.
I'm
It's
Mokola,
the
man.
Haitian dream.
Mokola.
It's the Haitian dream.
Haitian dream.
You know, because I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
There's a lot of established
right.
Haitian businesses that did not make it. You guys have opened the doors, literally, not just through Shark Tank,
Right.
but to show
Thank you,
people,
appreciate that,
other young Haitian Americans, like this is possible.
Right.
Like
Right.
this is the from packaging to everything.
Yeah,
It's
like,
not-
y'all did it right. Y'all doing it right.
Exactly. So now my thing is, why not, as a government, invest into a business like this to show
the government's-
financial literacy, giving back,
But Rob,
education.
But wait.
No, but I'm
we're
just
gonna
saying,
get there.
it's just
This is a great
it's-
conversation.
no,
but
it's
Rob,
just the
they can't get there yet,
mentality.
bro. We
Bro,
can't get
Stéphane,
there yet. We have no president.
we have no
There's
president. I
in
understand.
Haiti.
I
Right,
understand
We
that.
can't get there yet.
I understand that, but it's just like it starts from
Let me
like
let
the
me
5-year-old boy
let me
who's
counter
like,
that. Let me counter
"Mommy,
that.
I
Yeah.
want Louis Masquetti."
Yeah.
No,
I know.
but it's just like it
look,
bothers
totally
me.
understand.
Bro.
But why do
It bothers me.
I might get censored for this statement, right? You know, why do we need somebody to come and save us?
That's big.
That's
a big
big.
statement.
We're all in this room because we made that the decision that destiny is in my hand. We would not be here if how many? 1, 2, yeah. The 6 of us, 7, did not decide that destiny is in our hand. Fuck it, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah. Either
Confidence.
you're with
So-
me or forget me.
So when I say now this swag that we have here, this knowledge that we have here, it's time to share it with our people. It's time to say, okay, no, like you can do this. This ingenuity. There's so much talent in the
The
country.
ingenuity is crazy.
So much talent
It's
in the
crazy.
country. We hired an intern through an organization called Help. Super dope kid, man. One of the best designs I was getting all year. Best designs. So it's like, okay, hey, like, I know you're going through some shit right now, but I got you. I got you. And we don't, let the government do their thing. It can take, okay, hey, mentoring, finding some of these reputable organizations, and maybe that's something we can put on the website and, like, you know, share like some folks that are doing some amazing work down there to really
Absolutely. Yeah.
keep it going. You know what I'm saying? And because it's unfortunate we sort of have to put a patch, right? Like, to the solution for right now, but it is what we need to do to know that there is a stronger Haiti in our near and distant future.
Yeah.
And we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We can do it ourselves, even in country.
Sandy, you wanted to add to what Rob was saying?
It's the question you're asking. It's multi-layered, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's not, and you know Haiti's history. It's not just the people. It's outside forces, and they've been there since before 1804. So all of these things that are keeping us in a certain status or level, and the mentality, and then some people escape and they're like, I'm not going back. I don't want to go back. And then there's other people like us. It's like we got to go back and help. We have to stop depending on everyone else.
Everyone else to come and save us.
Have their
Yeah.
own,
Right.
they have their own agenda.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
help is not just to help.
Yeah.
The help is somehow benefiting.
And we're still in a slave mindset.
I was just gonna say it's
We're-
it's in,
yeah.
it's in our
That's
DNA.
powerful.
It's in our it's there, but it can
It's
be broken.
somewhat-
It's
it
not
can
in
be
our
broken.
DNA. It's in our mind.
It's in our mind.
It starts with the mind. And
Yeah, yeah.
and if we talk about imperialism or whatever, that was the biggest thing that they did is to tell us that we ain't shit. It's in the mind, and the mind can be changed. You talk about your solo traveling and how existential that experience was.
Right.
So if we can, help our brothers and sisters heal, right, and share like all this wellness. That's why wellness is so important, and it's beautiful. Like I said, just watching a couple of your past podcasts, seeing us having these conversations, bro, is fucking beautiful. I love it, and that just gives me that hope and aspiration that this next generation, your kids, right? Like, these wounds, we're gonna heal past them, right? And as we're healing, like business, right? So take the development of Haiti like a business, like a startup. You learn as you're building. You're like, okay, hey, I learned this. Let me give it to you, right? And I think there was someone that was saying as far as gatekeeping, and when God asked me, he was like, okay, what questions? I was like, I'm done. I don't want to gatekeep because like this is hard. Mm-hmm. If I can pass this little nugget over to you, and you have the grit, the will, the perseverance, the willingness to get these gray hairs, I'm with you. Yeah. Let's go. Let's rock.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it's more of us doing more, like sharing more information, as opposed to just gatekeeping.
And
everything.
Haitians also got to learn to stay in their lane, right? and here's the reason I say that. There's a supply chain that needs to be created. Why go? Okay, we've all been to Port-au-Prince where you're at Chamas. And you want to come home, you're excited. Oh my God, I just love Port-au-Prince. I just came back and I'm in my homeland. There's the same painting, the same little trinket across the entire Chamas. Why not, okay, if this person is making, this bracelet, do this different design. Or if this business was created, maybe I should create the transportation to support that business. Because there's money to be made there too. But because we haven't seen what the bigger picture look like, we just see, hey, go chef Rob là, li gen l'argent, oui, gen business la fait. Ma fait même business là, oui. Ma fait même bagay là. Parce que m'bi smart parce que Rob. Mais c'est voler lié. Ma fait ça. No,
Sounds
support
familiar.
Rob.
Yeah, very.
Support Rob.
When they wanted to do another T-shirt because they thought we were doing a T-shirt, and then they realized that it's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
That's why I can't gate because I don't know your journey. I don't know. I can't hate on you. I don't know what you're going through, what sacrifices you're making. So, but can I support you? Can I use my God-given talent? Boom. Let's link up. I'll do the graphic design while you go and sell and market. Okay, hey, I'm doing an agricultural business. I'll do the supply chain because there's so much money out there. We're fighting. That's the problem. We're fighting for scraps, son.
Bro, we talk about
when
this
you get to the higher
all the
level,
time.
you see
Money's
fighting
energy.
for scraps.
Yeah.
Money's energy. Money's flow, right? So, and we're fighting for scraps. So it's like, all right, boom, I can build a multi-million-dollar transportation business to support you. I can build a multi-million-dollar legal business to support this industry. Instead, what you want to do, you want to break me down. So that's that mindset that we need to change. Yeah.
Speaking of mindset, as we're coming to an end soon, I mean, I could keep going. I want to.
Editing is gonna be.
It's gonna be crazy.
This is a legendary interview. This is a legendary interview. You kind of alluded to it, but I want to just ask you again so you could give it to them straight, no chaser. Mindset of an entrepreneur. The stories you've told us, straight hustle, bro. Give us some of the mindsets to be a successful entrepreneur in anything that somebody wants to do.
Now, this is me 10 years later, as opposed to being in it. People have asked me the question, oh, okay, hey, I want to be, do what you do, blah, blah, blah. My response is, do you have a therapist?
Wow.
Shit is hard. It challenges and the reason I say that is because to truly be successful, you have to know self, and to do it quickly. They say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. I don't feel I'm overnight success yet. I still got a couple things that I want to do and accomplish. But when you look at our Caucasian counterparts and how quickly they're accelerating. They're going through these valuations are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and this money's not coming to us. It's not coming through. It's not being shared in our community. So what I identified and I saw is there's a mindset shift, or there's a difference in that when you are being raised in that you can do anything and you get into business, the possibilities are endless. But and I think your boy said this in the last episode, is that we're playing catch up. By year 5, that's when the mindset starts to shift and say, okay, hey, I think I need to do Super Soul Sunday. I think I need to go to a Tony Robbins because I can't take this pressure anymore. Something just doesn't feel right. right? So knowing self, you know what you need for wellness. You know when that anxiety starts to build up, like you don't take that anger out on your partner or your kids or your friends. You talk it out, you journal. You hit up that therapist, you get that hour teletherapy session, you know, you get those thoughts out, because in getting those thoughts out, the solution is there. Because the solution was in you the whole time, because otherwise you wouldn't even be here, right? But that therapy is key. That's that superpower.
That's deep.
Wow, that's deep,
true.
bro. That's deep.
That is deep.
Man,
Bro.
I don't even know where to go after that, bro.
Man.
Do you think that, other than therapy, do you have like a business mentor? Do you and Yve-Car have like mentorship? Because a lot of entrepreneurs talk about that. They have mentors.
We've always had mentors. And I would probably say it's more in an unofficial capacity.
Okay.
But it was, you know, Johnny Celestin, actually, shout out to him. And even at the times that we were going up and down Haiti, he was a mentor. You know, hey, move this, do that. Could think about that, think through this decision. You know, I remember when the whole Petrocaribe situation started percolating, he was like, bro, I got to sit you down. Here's what I see happening. You know, you should probably start making certain moves, start protecting some assets. So we've been blessed for that. There are people who come into our lives, and just based on our energy and our frequency that, you know, I think also, I'm going to go back to the whole therapy thing, and I know it's that answer, but when you do know self in a sense, the ego drops and you're more susceptible to listen to that, because we have mentors all around. I mean, you guys are my mentors. You guys are, your perspective that you're giving me, I don't live that life. I don't see what you see, right? Like she can be like, hey, I just saw this and it sucks. What can I say? Let's fix it. Thank you. Thanks for that mentorship. But if I'm in my head and my ego, I will never hear that feedback. It's criticism, right? Oh, Bookie's out, he's out.
Yeah.
But also the intentionality of, and again, that's why I'm saying it goes back to self, right? Because once you recognize, hey, I need that help, you're more intentional. Like, what do you do when you don't know how to do something? You go and find the help, if it's YouTube or if it's something else like that. So I think in understanding when are your high seasons, when is the period that you don't know, when is it time to call for help, you're more susceptible to actually the mentors around you and the people in your life. My parents have been mentors. My aunt was a mentor. She built the business in Haiti, had a building that she was operating. So we would have dinners, you know, when the Haitians, when you're in Haiti, they force you to sit down and have dinner together. Those were mentorship opportunities. Those were, I was listening. Oh, you know, Jean Rebelli.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. You know, so there's intentionality for sure, but then go seek, right? So, like I said, the Super Soul Sunday was a good takeaway for us. Tony Robbins was really good. Understanding money, the psychology of money. Podcasts like this are super dope. There's a book that I used when it came to learning how to become a better leader. You know, I built right now we're at a 6,000 square feet facility in Little Haiti that I had to staff up quickly, right? And with 21, 25-year-olds. And so Radical Candor was this book that I read about compassionate leadership. Rather than jumping in and say, you didn't do this, listen to them. Understand their story, understand their perspective, understand how you can essentially guide them to be a better employee. So dope. That was a form of mentorship. Conferences, you know, part of that hustle is like, I'll go to a conference, and if I like what the person is saying, and they could be my age, it could be my peers, I'm like, yo, I need to know what you know. Can you mentor me? Can you help me out with here? So we started building our network of just other beauty entrepreneurs to create our ecosystem for that. And then it's just like that always, bro, I watch TV shows and I get like, but it's that intentionality of going in and say, well, here's what I'm getting out of it.
Understanding. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I used to watch Chicago Fire and just be like, no, I don't want to be this guy. I want to be that guy. You know, I want to be that type of boss. I want to be that type of leader. Right. You know, so because sometimes it's not, we don't always have those people around us. Uncle Jimmy didn't come from JP Morgan, and you know what I'm saying.
Right,
so, but you take from Uncle Tico, Bobby, or whatever what you can, and supplement that with, you know, your homie that's doing mergers and acquisitions over at Bain Capital.
That's what's up.
You know?
That's what's up. Rob, you got to ask your 5-year question.
Yeah.
5 years, huh?
Yeah, you see Kreyol Essence for 5 years.
Paradigm maker.
Wow.
You know, these conversations that we're having, I would like for us to be in a comfortable financial positioning, staffing, team. Everyone is gelling so that we can continue changing paradigms. We can move these mountains that we all dream about. You know, we and then take it overseas. I think what we've been able to do, and through the blessings of, again, you guys, the community, it's a story that can reverberate in Nigeria, in Brazil, in, you know, these countries that have these raw materials, these products that they just want to be heard, they just want to be seen, and business offers that opportunity to do so. So I think, like Yve-Car said, creating that blueprint for poverty alleviation. So in 5 years, at least, I want to know that blueprint is being executed globally.
Wow.
Bro, I told you this was gonna be a legendary.
Yeah, this is epic. This was
I'm
epic.
blown away, man.
I'm blown
Thank
away,
you so
man.
much. You're off to India tomorrow, and
No, we really
And imagine when I come back, bro.
you just came here and sat down and talked to us. I really appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man. One last gem. That's your camera right there. Talk to that 5-year-old that want to become an entrepreneur, bro.
You got it. It's in you. All right. That vision that you have, that dream. There's something to be said that when you are obsessed about something that God put in you, and you go to sleep and it's in your head, you wake up, it's in your head, you're brushing your teeth, it's in your head, that's your destiny right there. So lean in, follow through, believe in yourself, get to know self, take time with self. You got this.
Amazing.
Man. And not that they don't, if they don't know, they should know. Let them know where they can get that Kreyol Essence.
Word. Well, KreyolEssence.com is going to be your true source right there. Like I said, I have an amazing dynamic team, a customer service team, marketing team that's on hand to answer questions when it comes to, hey, what product should I use? How should I use it? What type of regimen should I look for? We create these amazing bundles for you to make the process easier, so that you are understanding what your hair type is, what type of product that you need to essentially get that ideal moment of self-love for yourself. What does that beauty look like for you? We're just here to help guide. So KreyolEssence.com, Ulta Beauty nationwide, JCPenney nationwide, Whole Foods nationwide. Where else? Oh, wow. And then hit us up on Instagram at KreyolEssence.com. TikTok, Kreyol Essence. We're on TikTok. You might see me do a couple, dances on there. On the TikTok channel. And then, it's just, we thank you for being part of the tribe. We thank you for making history with us.
That's what's up. Everything nationwide means a lot of money, y'all. All right?
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. He's not going to say it. We'll say it for him.
We'll say
Making
it.
a lot of money. That's
Making a
what
lot
we'll
of
say.
money, man. Nah, that's what's up.
Thanks again, my brother.
Wow, this is dope.
Wow. Legendary.
Definitely
Appreciate
commend you, bro.
Rob, housekeeping items.
Housekeeping items. Thank you, LS Cream. We appreciate you. Keep grinding. We see you. Also, Roots of Brooklyn, we want to thank you. Sweet 100, we thank you. And hey, possibly we could get Kreyol Essence as a sponsor, and maybe we could work on a discount for the Sock by Save followers.
On Bali.
Yeah. we'll talk off camera. We'll talk off camera. Yeah. The Sock by Save is just too much. But thank you all for watching, and glad. You got anything else?
A legendary episode, man. We did it, Stéphane. Thanks again.
Man,
Safe travels. Keep grinding. Keep inspiring the community.
You too.
I'm putting in my ballot as the next future president of Haiti. That's all I'm gonna say. Or somewhere in politics.
Somewhere.
You got it. You got it.
Look, I want to fund Rob.
Hey, you funding Rob, you funding me. I'm good with that.
All right.
Hey, Team Sock Passe, we
out.
That was dope, bro. Yeah.
LS Cream. The perfect blend of spices and tradition inspired by Haitian cremas. Please drink responsibly.